This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Skeletons are tumbling out of the Tamil Nadu Housing Board's secret closet after NDTV Hindu blew the lid off on the biggest scam that has rocked our state. Strong political reactions have been pouring in, asking the government to revoke the lands. And returning from her Kodanad estate, a fiery Amma has reacted to our expose, accusing the DMK government of being a scam by itself. Good evening, I'm Divya and my colleague Shabir Ahmed, who broke this story and brought this scam in the name of social service to every one of your homes, joins me tonight. We'll bring you all that and more in this power-packed half-hour capsule, but first the headlines now. Jayalalitha reacts to NDTV Hindu's expose on the Tamil Nadu Housing Board scam. This is the opposition leader's strong remark.
5-year rule of the minority DMK government is itself one big scam.
And on the mother of all scams, the AIADMK reflects the parliament logjam. Jayalalitha says they will stick to its stand for a JPC.
There is no change in our stand. The AIADMK is firm in demanding a JPC.
Meanwhile, Alagiri springs up a surprise in the DMK camp, wishing Dayanidhi Maran is the chemicals minister trying to smoke the peace pipe with his nephew. Is your electricity meter reading the wrong units? Here is a report to power you through on what tenants should be aware of. The monsoon fury is at its peak. Heavy rains are predicted for Chennai in the next 24 hours. Let's also bring you the national news making headlines. The IPL Governing Council gives the Kochi team a go-ahead. The new ownership patterns are found acceptable. President Sarkozy to meet Prime Minister over dinner. The nuclear liability and reactor deals are on top of the agenda. Airlines back down on the proposed fare bans, fares to be rationalized by 25%. The Karnataka governor backs the Lokayukta, says they are competent to probe the land scam. Well, after we blew the lid off on the Tamil Nadu Housing Board scam, a strong response comes from the AIADMK Supremo Jayalalitha herself. This is an NDTV Hindu Impact. Well, the biggest loot in the name of social service seems to be the scam uncovered in Tamil Nadu, carefully scripted by a few politicians and executed by the TNHP. The fraud has tarnished the image of genuine social workers, and after NDTV Hindu brought out many skeletons from the closet in the Housing Board scam, AIADMK Supremo Jayalalitha has reacted, saying, in quotes, the last 5-year term of the DMK minority is a big scam.
There has been a scam about the Tamil Nadu Housing Board allotment.
To put it in a nutshell, I would say that the last 5-year rule of the minority DMK government is itself one big scam.
And for more details on this, our reporter Shabir Ahmed, who broke this story for us, now joins me live from our newsroom. Well, Shabir, ever since we broke this story, political parties have been demanding for this land that is allocated to be revoked. And now Jayalalitha's response has definitely upped the pressure. So any word from the government?
Well, so far there has been no official reaction from the government, from the TNHP department in particular. In fact, we have been expecting that some kind of clarification or reaction will be there, but when we went to meet the Secretary, Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ashok Dongre, he refused to meet us, and that is a clear indication that things are definitely wrong in the TNHP. And also, we have been hearing from our sources that, there is a whole lot of mess that is happening within the TNHP. In fact, many of the allotments have been, allotments have been carrying out violating all the rules of the TNHP. In fact, social workers, there are more than 200 to 300 social workers, land and flats have been allotted for social workers, and those are the documents which is just a small amount of documents that we have, and in fact in that itself more than 200 plots have been allotted only to social workers by giving fictitious certificates. In fact, one person who claims to be a social worker can get a letter from any organization, any letterpad organization, saying that, claiming himself as a social worker, and he gets a land worth several lakh rupees, and that's something which perhaps has irked social activists and people who are actually involved in social service. So definitely the government pressure mounts on the DMK government here, and they have to answer some really tough questions, Divya.
All right, Chabi, thanks very much indeed for joining us with all those details. Well, speaking of scams, A. Raja can never be far behind. Jayalalitha has said that there is no change in AIADMK's demand for a joint parliamentary probe. She also said that it's a big concern that there has been no action beyond Raja's resignation on the Spectrum scam, and that it was a mystery why the centre had not ordered a probe. The parliament has not been functioning ever since the winter session began, with the opposition demanding nothing short of a JPC probe and also slamming the DMK for defending their blue-eyed boy. Jayalalitha said that it was meaningless to project him as a Dalit hero after he has been caught in an act of corruption.
It is a mystery as to why the central government has not thought it fit to order a probe against Raja, and as to why he has not been interrogated or why he has not been arrested so far.
And now, ma'am, your reaction, ma'am, will the AIADMK stick to a JPC in the parliament?
There is no change in our stand. The AIADMK is firm in demanding a JPC.
Well, Union Textiles Minister Dayanidhi Maran turned 44 today, and guess what was his birthday surprise? For the first time, Alagiri personally greeted the birthday boy at his residence. This, of course, has given rise to speculation that the two families might come together once again. Remember, it was in 2007 that Dayanidhi was forced to quit as telecom minister after his family-owned newspaper published a survey saying Karunanidhi's son M.K. Stalin is likely to succeed as a political heir to the DMK patriarch, and supporters of Alagiri had set the office on fire. Now, this had created a political rift in the DMK family, but DMK workers now believe that the Alagiri-Maran meeting is a fitting reply to troublemakers, and while Maran supporters say that Alagiri's gesture is one of the best birthday gifts to their leader. And our executive editor Sanjay Pinto gave us the significance behind this unition of sorts between Alagiri and Dayanidhi Maran.
This is the first time that Alagiri is personally wishing his nephew Dayanidhi Maran at his residence, his boat club residence, on his birthday. So that itself is a big step. Many believe that this is one way of Alagiri actually reciprocating the cordiality at his son's wedding recently in Madurai. His son also interestingly called Dayanidhi. And that's where Dayanidhi Maran played the perfect host, particularly to all the Delhi Congress leaders who descended there in Madurai for that grand wedding bash. Now, just like justice should be seen to be done, the DMK seems to believe that even cordiality, even unity, should perhaps be seen to be displayed. And that's why we saw the two big leaders of the party together there, and the party workers and their loyalists, both Dayanidhi Maran's loyalists and Alagiri's loyalists who were there, who had converged at his boat club residence, were jubilant. Some of them I spoke to had just as Alagiri was seen leaving his residence after wishing his nephew, were telling me that, this is a fitting reply to all those who seek to divide the party, who seek to project the divisions within the party, and that differences in any family are natural, but when the time comes, they all come together for occasions also in the run-up to elections. Now, in fact, the Dayanidhi Maran camp is upbeat, extremely upbeat, has every reason to be, one would say, and it certainly augurs well for the DMK. But I can tell you that the crowd outside Dayanidhi Maran's boat club residence has only been getting bigger by the year. I saw a lot of bureaucrats, several party workers, of course, and also several ministers, all of them who've been making the rounds there almost, as it were, from early this morning. And this is only a sign of the growing influence of Dayanidhi Maran within the DMK as an important power center within the DMK first family here.
Well, still ahead on headlines now. If you are a tenant who is paying more money for electricity than the tariff set, then you do not want to miss this story.